everyone. So today we'll study a chapter which is called as mensuration. Okay, as the name of the chapter says, mensuration, which means you'll be measuring. Okay, what you will be measuring? You'll be measuring 2D figures and 3D figures. So first part we'll study 2D figures, then we go on to study 3D figures. What are 2D figures and what are 3D figures? 2D means, as the name says, two-dimensional. So it will have x-axis and y-axis. The figure will be along this two axis. Okay, so it will not be going to have width to it. So what are the 2D figures? A circle is a 2D figure. A rectangle is a 2D figure. Paper, the paper on which you are writing right now, that is a 2D figure. So all this are example of a 2D figure. You can take a triangle is a 2D figure. Okay, anything which does not have a z-axis, which means you cannot measure a volume of it. Can you pour water into the paper that you are writing and you measure its volume? No, it's not possible. So that's a 2D figure because it does not have this additional z-axis. If you give it an additional z-axis, then you can pour water inside it and measure its volume. And what are those 3D figures? Sphere, which means say cricket ball is a 3D figure. Then what else? A cylinder is a 3D figure. Yes. Okay, cylinder is a 3D figure. Then a cone is a 3D figure. Yes. We'll draw a diagram of this in beautiful graphs and understand this. For the time being, I'm just giving an idea what are 3D figures. Okay, so cylinder, there is a cone, and what else? Cube is also a 3D figure. Okay, because again it will have a z-axis. See, this is your rectangle that you can see, rectangle or a square. From this I can make a cuboid or a cube. So if I give it an additional z-axis, which I am giving it right now, this is how it was. I am giving an additional z-axis, so this is how you can draw the cube out of it. Okay, that's it. So this becomes 3D. This was 2D. This white was a 2D part of it, x and y axis, but I gave an additional z-axis to it. Okay, so this became a 3D figure. That's how you study 2D and 3D figure. Let's just plot few figures even before we jump on to understanding them. Let's plot few figures and understand 2D and 3D even better. So let's come here. Now let's start with say a simple figure of which is, let's go to polygon, and I can draw any polygon here. So let me draw a rectangle, something like this. This is a 2D figure. Okay, or else I can also draw a triangle here, which will again be a 2D figure. Okay, or what else can I draw here? Rectangle, there is a square, then triangle, or a circle that I can draw it here. So pick it up here, and there's a circle. So all this are 2D figure. Okay, you can visualize them well right now. All this are example of a 2D figure, which means they don't have an additional z-axis to it. Now let's come to 3D. Even before we go to 3D, like what will you measure with respect to the 2D figure? See, this has an area of a triangle EGF, which means if I have to paint this triangle EGF, what is the area that will be required? The area required will be 70. Okay, similarly this square has an area of 80. Sorry, rectangle is this. So ABCD rectangle has an area of 80. Okay, similarly the circle will have an area of certain. So this is not getting here. Let's draw one more circle, a small circle, and I can measure its area right now. Okay, area is equals to what? 56.8. Area means what is the part. So say this is a floor, and on the floor I'm drawing a circle and then a rectangle and then a triangle. So who is having the maximum area? Which of the three, if I paint, I'll require more of an area? The square, right? The square is where I'll require the maximum of, this rectangle is where I'll require the maximum of the paint to paint this area. Similarly, after that I'll require a triangle which has an area of 70, and then a circle which has an area of 56.8. Okay, so that is the maximum part of the floor is being taken by a rectangle, then by a triangle, then by a circle, and that is your area. That is always your area. Okay, so area, and second thing you find out here is a perimeter. Perimeter always means what? The boundary. So what is the boundary of this rectangle ABCD? That is AB plus BC plus CD plus DA, which means if I have to cut this rectangle and stretch it in the form of a string, what will be the length of that string? Okay, that will be the perimeter. Similarly, what will be the perimeter of this triangle? EG plus GF plus FE. Okay, and that's how you can easily find out two things about any of the 2D figure: area and the perimeter. Okay, please make a note of this. This will be required a lot. So knowing this, now let's go on to the 3D figure and compare 2D figure with 3D figure. So 3D figure, as you can see it here, I have a z-axis here. I have a z-axis here, x-axis, y-axis and a z-axis. So if I have to just make a plain 2D figure here, how will it look like? Let's just make a plain 2D figure here. So polygon, let's go to this, let's delete this and go to this. Yeah, so if I have to make a plain figure here, this and then this, if you can see, this is a 2D figure. It does not have an additional, like it is just on the x and the y axis. It is just on the x and the y axis. Okay, it does not have an additional z axis. Now let me make an additional z axis to this. So let's come here. I can just draw this by a segment only. This I'll draw it here, and this I'll join it here, and this you can join it here. Still it's not a 3D figure because the things are here not connected. Let's connect them. So if I connect this with this, this with this, this with this, and this with this, now it does become a 3D figure. Now you can imagine how 2D is converted to 3D because we gave it a width. We gave it the width. And what figure will you call this to be? A pyramid. Okay, it has a polygon which is the base, and all of them are raised at one apex point, and that is how your pyramid looks like. Okay, so I hope you are able to compare the 2D with the 3D. Now let's take one more 3D figure. Say I'm putting up a sphere here. Now see, this is a 3D figure again. This is not a circle, okay, because it has a width right now. Can you pour water inside this sphere and measure its volume? Of course you can. So it will be a 3D figure. Okay, you can put a cube here as well. So this is how you can put a cube here. This will again be a 3D figure because it will be having x-axis, y-axis and a z-axis as well. Okay, and that's how simple it is to put a 3D figure in this. Can I put a cone here? Let me just try. Radius is being asked to me. Let the radius be 5. So this is how the cone, if you can see it here, this is the cone that I had drawn inside this. There is a cone, and that is also my 3D figure. Okay, so I can just draw as many 3D figures as I want, but all that I know for 3D figure is they will have two things here right now. So for 2D figures you found out perimeter and the area. 3D figures will have something called as a total surface area. So they don't have a perimeter, they have a total surface area. What is the meaning of this? If I have to paint this sphere completely from the outside, okay, so what will be the area that will be required? If I have to paint this cube completely from the outside, that means I have to paint all the 6 faces of this cube. What is the area that will be required? That is total surface area. And see the cone there, cone in the pyramid. If I have to paint this cone completely from the outside, okay, so what is the area that will be required? And that becomes your always the total surface area. So any object that is given to you, if you are painting this from the outside, what is the area that will be required? That will be always your total surface area. Second thing that you are supposed to know about a 3D object, and that is quite obvious. What do you get in a 3D object? Which is a volume. Okay, so if you pour water inside this sphere or this cone or this cube, what is the volume of the water that will be required to fill this cone or a sphere or a cube? And that will be the volume of the object. So when it comes to 3D object, you're supposed to know two things. First is the total surface area, painting it from outside, and second is the volume. Okay, now we'll study various 2D objects, various 3D objects, and see various conditions as to how do you solve different problems related to 2D and 3D figures. Okay, so welcome to Mensuration and have fun learning. We start with 2D figures, and the first 2D figure that we see here is a rectangle. Okay, now let us understand how will we analyze this. So if we start with the rectangle, how does a rectangle looks like? It will have a length and it will have a breadth. Okay, so let this be length L and let this be breadth B. First thing that I'll ask you is, what is the perimeter? Okay, what is the perimeter of this? Okay, so what will you say? It is nothing but the boundary. So boundary is L plus B plus B, which means what? If I just cut this thing and I stretch it in the form of a string, what will be the length of the string? L and then B and then L and then B, which is nothing but 2L plus 2B, right? So 2L plus 2B will be the perimeter of this rectangle. Okay, very simple. Then I'll ask you the area of this rectangle. Okay, now what is area of this rectangle? If I have to paint this rectangle, this red part, that will be painted, what is the area that will be required? That will be nothing but length into breadth. So just multiply this, length into breadth will give you the area of the rectangle. So this red part which you are painting it, what will be the area of that will be given by this. Now this looks very simple, but in rectangle you get problem on finding area of roads. Okay, they won't ask you a simple question like tell me the perimeter or tell me the area. Okay, gone are those days. They will ask you a question on area of road. Okay, and the road could be constructed in three ways. First, inside the rectangle, then they can construct the road outside the rectangle, and they can construct the road exactly in the middle of the rectangle. Okay, so let's start with one at a time. Let's start with constructing a road exactly in the middle. So I construct the road parallel to the breadth, something like this, exactly here, and I construct the road here as well, inside this. Okay, something like this, Now this road has a uniform width, so which means this is uniform W, and it's everywhere W. What is W? It could be any value that could be given to you. So you have a length, you have a breadth, and you have a width that is given to you. They'll ask you a simple question as to this road that is being drawn, that is passing through the middle of this rectangle, what is the area of this road? They'll ask you this. They'll ask you what is the area of this road. And if I have to put it in terms of color, so if I paint this, not this, see, I think some color went out, let me just draw it completely. Yes, so this is how we'll draw it. Okay, you just need the area of this road. So now let's just paint it. This is the area that they are asking. Okay, this area of this road, something that is painted in the green right now, this is the area. So don't tell me the red area, just tell me the green area. That will be the area of the road. Okay, so first thing is how will you start with this? So if I tell you this just find out, just see this as a rectangle now. Okay, see, it's a logic, don't memorize as a formula, it's a logic. So if I just make this as a rectangle, the small rectangle, I make it here, what will be the area of this blue rectangle? You will say it is simple, this is length, okay, and this is width. So L into W will be the area of this rectangle. Now if I similarly take one more rectangle, which is this yellow one, this is again a road, right? Two road which is in the form of a plus are nothing but two rectangle. And if I ask you what is the area of this, you will say this is B, and this part is W, so B into W will be the area of this road, which is quite simple. So you said now I know the area of two strip, which is first strip is this, and second strip is this, right? And this two strip which is in the form of a plus form a road. So this will be the area of the road, right? That's what your answer should be. But then you made a mistake here, you took an overlap. So when you took this, you took this part, which is this part I am talking about, this part. You took this part, correct, which I am painting here in, say, I'll put a let's put a yellow color to this. So you took this yellow part, right, while you were taking this L into B, but you took this yellow part again while you were taking this. So while you were taking the area of this, you took it again. So this part is repeated twice. That's why you will get an increased area. So what will you do? Subtract it once. What is the area of this part which you had taken it twice? This is W and this is W. So this forms a square, right? What's the difference between rectangle and a square? Square, all sides are equal. So W into W, it will be what? W square. Subtract W square from this, because that will be the area of this small part which you had taken it twice. Okay, now it is solved. Take W as common from this. So what is left is L into B minus W, and that will be the area of this road. So in case they tell you that the length of the rectangle is 10, the breadth is 4, and the width of this road is 1. Okay, so what will be the area of the road? This W is 1. So what will be the area of the road? You will say width is 1, length into breadth, which is 10 into 4, 40, minus 1, that will be nothing but 39 will be the area of this road, and as simple as that. Okay, so let them give you anything, it will be easier for you to reach to your answer once you know length and the breadth and the width. Okay, now in the next part we'll see how do you draw roads inside and then the outside of the rectangle. Okay, and this will complete a rectangle and how do you deal with the problem of roads on rectangle. Now let's draw a road inside the rectangle and find its area. Okay, so if I ask you simple, what is the area of this rectangle, we'll say this, let's paint it by white. Okay, this white region is the area of this rectangle, but I'm drawing a road here now. So let me just draw a road here now. So this is how we draw a road of uniform width. Okay, which means the width across will be same. Okay, so let that be W now, we will give it as W. So this is the road that I draw inside the rectangle. If you know, our rectangle was white, now inside that I draw a road. In the later part we'll draw a road outside this. So I draw a road like this, and this road has a width, this width is W, it's W everywhere. Okay, now wherever you go this is W, even this is W, and then so on. So this road is of uniform width. Okay, that's how I draw it. Now I ask you a simple question, if I draw a road outside like this, what will be the area of this road, which means I am asking you this part, this green is what I am asking you. What is the area of this green part? Don't tell me the white, tell me the green. Okay, so what will you say now? How will I find this out? So if I say this total length is L, that was the first rectangle that we had, the full white part, and this breadth is B. So the area of the earlier white part, not the remaining white part, okay, the earlier white part which was there would be L into B. That was quite simple, but from that I'll have to subtract the area of this part. Now what is this part? The remaining part of the white, which say I put it here in yellow, this. So white minus yellow will give me green. Okay, and that is the area that I want. White, the earlier white, minus this yellow will give me the area of which is a green. So that's how I have to find it out. So what is the area first of the white? That will be L into B, correct? That will be L into B. From that I'll have to take out the area of this. Okay, what is this now? This is L minus 2W. You will say, how is this happening? This total is L, right? Take out W from here. Take out W from here. So if I take out W, this will be L minus 2W. Similarly, what will be this part? What will be this part? This will be B minus 2W. The length and the breadth of the inside rectangle, whose area was this yellow part. Okay, length will be L minus 2W, breadth will be B minus 2W, because this is W and this is also equal to W. So if I subtract both of them, it is B minus 2W. So what will you get now? The total area, the white area, which is L into B. This is the white part which we started with, minus the yellow part, which is what? L minus 2W into B minus 2W. This is the yellow part. If I subtract white from yellow, I'll get the green, and this is what I want. Okay, this is the area of the road. So let's now just solve it. So how will I solve this now? Let's put it here. L into B, let's keep it here. Minus, I'll keep it outside. L into B will be LB. This will be minus 2LW. This will be minus 2BW. Minus 2 will be plus 4 into W square. Right? 2 into 2, it will be 4. Now what will you do? Take this minus inside. So plus LB minus LB gets cancelled. This becomes what? 2LW plus 2BW. Okay, minus of 4W square. This is what you are left with. Now take 2W common from here. So if I take 2W common from here, what are you left with? L plus B minus 2W. Right, you are left with this. If you take 2W common, L plus B minus 2W is what you are left with, and that's it. That will be the green. That will be the green part. That will be the area of this green road. So if I give you now, say the length is 10 and the breadth is 2, and let's take the breadth to be 4, so this will be 10 plus 4, and the width is say 1. So you will say 10 plus 4, 14 minus 2, it will be 12 into 2 into 1, because width is 1. Okay, 2 into 1 will be 2, 12 into 2 will be 24. That's it. So if I give you the length, if I give you the breadth, and if I give you the width, you will be able to find out what is the area of the road. Okay, and what is the condition here? When the road is drawn inside the rectangle. When it is drawn in the middle, we know what happens. When it is drawn inside, we know what happens. Now next we'll draw a road outside the rectangle and see to as to what is happening with that. So let's make a rectangle. What is the area of this rectangle? This white part is the area of this rectangle. Now I am drawing a road that is outside this rectangle. So how will I draw this? Something like this. I draw a road outside this white part. Now imagine earlier we draw it inside that. Okay, now we are drawing it outside that, and again it is of uniform width. So imagine this is uniform across this. It's of the uniform width here. What am I asking you right now? When I am doing this, I am asking you now the area of this again green part. The green part, that is the road, that is the area that I am asking you here now. Okay, so a road that is being drawn outside this. So how will you start now? So you will say what this was the earlier length of the rectangle L, and this was the breadth of the rectangle, which we call it to be B. So I know length, I know breadth of the rectangle. What did I do now? I draw this. This is uniform width W. I draw a road of uniform width outside this. So this will be W. All of this will be W. Okay, now after this you are being asked what is the area of this road. So what is it like you're supposed to do here? First you will say, if I make this outer rectangle, I see it here, what will be the length of this? This will be L plus 2W. Instead of minus, it will be plus now, because you are drawing it outside. L which is this, plus W, this total becomes L plus 2W. And if I similarly take a breadth of this, what will that be now? This will be B plus 2W. B plus 2W. Okay, so this is your B, this is W plus W, this will be B plus 2W. Now what am I asking you? I am asking you the area of this green, which is nothing but, you can say, the area of outer rectangle, which is L plus 2W into B plus 2W, the outer rectangle, minus area of this inner rectangle. So if you say the outer rectangle entirely it is green minus white will give me this again, this small strip is what will be given to me. Or if I give it a different color, say I give it a yellow to this. Okay, so the total green minus this yellow will give me the small strip of green that I want to know, right? That's quite a logic here. So minus area of this, which will be L into B. Okay, so area of outer minus area of inner will give me the area of the road. Okay, L plus 2W into B plus 2W minus L into B. Now let's just solve this and see what is it like we are getting from this. Let's multiply L into B plus 2LW plus 2BW plus 4W square minus LB. Plus LB minus LB gets cancelled. What do you get it? 2LW plus 2BW plus 4W square. Take out 2W common from this. What are you left with this? L plus B plus 2W. Okay, now if I give you that, this is your final formula. Okay, now if I give you the length as 10, the breadth as 4, and the width as 1, so what will be the area of this green part? 10 plus 4, 14 plus 2, 16 into 2 into 1, which will be 2. 16 into 2, 32 will be the answer, right? So if you know length, if you know breadth, and if you know width, if you draw a road outside, if you draw a road inside, and if you draw a road exactly in the middle, you know how and which formula you are supposed to use. Okay, we had derived the formula for all three, for inside, for outside, as well as in the middle. Okay, so whenever you get a rectangle problem and they are asking you to find out the area of the road, then this is the logic which you will use it. But generally memorize this because it will be very helpful to get the answer quickly. Now after this we'll be solving many problems on rectangle, and that is where your concept will be clear. Now this, all of this that you have studied right now, you can apply this also to the square. So I'll not repeat this, I'll just draw a square. Okay, what is the difference between a rectangle and a square? A square will have all the sides as equal. So this will be A, this will be A, this will be A, this will be A. Length is equals to breadth, that's it. So if length is equals to breadth, area will be equal to A square, A into A, and perimeter will be equal to A plus A plus A plus A, 4A. Okay, now if you draw a road in the middle of this, you know how to find it out now. Okay, and if you draw a road that is inside, and if you draw a road that is outside of uniform width, you will come to know how to go ahead with this. Ideally you get it in terms of rectangle, but in case they ask you, you know what should be your approach to this. Okay, that's it with the two figures of rectangle and square. Now after this, after understanding the concepts, how to find out the perimeter and the area of the roads, let us solve few problems on both these 2D figures. Perimeter of the room. Find the area of the floor, which means what? I have to paint this red part, I'll paint it, and I'll have to find out the area of this, which will be nothing but length into breadth. So 15 into 8, which is 80 plus 8 5 is 40, 120. Okay, that will be the area of the floor. Now what next? Find the maximum possible length of the rod that can be put in the room. Okay, so what is the maximum possible length of the rod that can be put into this? So how will you go ahead with this? See, I'll have to make a line here which will be the diagonal. That will be the maximum possible length of the rod that can be put into this room, right? This will be nothing but the diagonal. So eventually he is asking me what is the length of this diagonal. So this angle in rectangle and the square, obviously it is what? 90. So what will I do? I'll apply Pythagoras theorem. So let the diagonal be x. So x square will be equal to what? 15 square, that is 225, plus 8 square, which is nothing but 64. So x square is equals to what? Add all of them, 229 plus 60, it's 289. So x turns out to be what? 17. So x turns out to be your 17, and that's the biggest possible length of the rod that can be put into this room. Okay, very simple problem on rectangle. Let's see one more problem. Length of the wall is 5 by 4 times its height. So there is a wall which has a length and then a height. The area of the wall be this. Find what is the sum of the length and the height of the wall. So again, this is a rectangle. It is just that the scenario in which it is being put in looks complicated. So say this is the wall, and this is its length. This is its length, say L, and the height of this wall is nothing but h height. Okay, so this wall is nothing but forming a rectangle, and that's why it forms a problem on rectangle. So length of the wall is 5 by 4 times its height. This is what is given to me now. So from that, what will I come to know? I'll say L is equals to 5 by 4 of height. So let's write this L as 5 by 4 of height. Okay, now what will be the area? Area is nothing but length into breadth, which will be nothing but 5 by 4 of height into height, right? Because this is height. So what will this be? This is given to me 180. And if you just visualize what is this 180, this yellow part that we will be painting will be 180. So this is given to me as 180. So what will I do now? I'll just cut this. 5 1s are 5, 5 3s are 15. Then what am I left with is 30, 5 6 are 30. Okay, 36 into 4 will be nothing but h square. So h square will be equal to 36 into 4. Okay, don't solve this. You will be taking the square root. So h will be equal to square root of 36 into 4. So square root of 36 is 6, square root of 4 is 2. Okay, and so 6 into 2 will be nothing but 12. So height comes out to be 12. Okay, if height is 12, 5/4 of this will be what? 5/4 of 12. This will be 4 1s are 4 3s are 3 into 5, it will be 15. So this will turn out to be 15. So this is 15 and this is 12. Okay, what is being asked to me? What is the sum of the length and the height of the wall? Sum of the length and the height will be 15. plus 12. So 15 plus 12, 17, 27 will be the answer. Sum of the length and the height of the wall. Okay, that's how simple it is. So it was again a simple problem on rectangle, but it was given in terms of length and the height. So you will be confused whether it's 2D or 3D. It's obviously 2D. It is a rectangle that you had put it in terms of length and the height. Now let's solve few more problem on rectangle and see the variation that we can get in this 2D figure of rectangle. So a rectangular grassy lawn is 18 meter by 12 meter. So length and the breadth is given to me. It has a gravel path of 1.5 meter wide all around it on the outside. So can you recall now? There is a rectangle and I draw a path or a road that is outside the rectangle. Okay, can you recall this now? We had done this kind of problem. Let's come here. Yes, this is what we did it. This is a rectangle here. This is the yellow one, and if you draw this path outside, and if I am asking you what is the area of this green region, it will be L plus B plus 2W into 2W. Right? L plus B plus 2W into 2W, as we have seen it here. So we should know length and the breadth and the width of the gravel path that you are drawing it here. Now in case you want to remember this with the outside and the inside here is minus 2W. So instead of plus you have a minus here, then the both of the formula are same. It's plus 2W and here it is minus 2W. Okay, in case you just want to remember the two. But we are not drawing it inside, we are drawing it outside the rectangle. It's clearly mentioned in the problem. So let's come here, let's just apply this. Okay, I'm not drawing the rectangle here. In case you just want me to draw, this is the rectangle here, and I draw a path that is outside this rectangle. That's a gravel path that is outside this rectangle that is being drawn, and if I just color this, this green part is the area that is being asked to you. So what will you say? This is the 18 given to me, and this is given to me as 12 length and then the breadth, and a formula is L plus B plus 2W, okay, into 2W, which is your width, and the width here is 1.5. so the width of this is 1.5, and we know how did we derive this, right? We saw it in the earlier part. How did we derive this? So let's just write now, this is 2 into width is 1.5 into L, this is 18, 20, 30 plus 2 into 1.5 will be nothing but 3. So this becomes 33 into 3, 1.5 into 3, which is nothing but 99, and that's your answer. The area of this green part that you have drawn it here is nothing but 99. So if you just remember this, whenever you draw a road outside the rectangle, it is always L plus B plus 2W into 2W, and if you draw a road that is inside, this plus will become minus. Okay, remember this, it will be easier for you to reach to the answer. Now let's see the next question on rectangle. Find the cost of carpeting a room 17 meter long and 19 meter wide. So again a rectangle, the dimensions are given to me as 17 and then 9. 17 is the length and width is 9. This is what is given to me now. Find the cost of carpeting with a carpet 60 centimeter broad at a cost of 40 meter per, okay, 40 meter paise per meter. Okay, for this 40 paise per meter, that's how it will be. So this will be 40 paise per meter. Let's just delete this here, 40 paise per meter. Okay, that's how it will be. So what is it like this happening here? See, you have a carpet, and this is how your carpet is. This is what your carpet is. The width of this carpet is nothing but 60 centimeter. So this is 60 centimeter broad carpet, and you will have to see how much of this carpet will you fit into this. So say I'll fit, this is 1 meter, say, okay, this is 1 meter, and the cost of this is 40 paise. Cost of this is 40 paise. So if I am fitting just this much, how much will it cost me? 40 paise. If I go 2 meter, I get one more part of this, I get 1 more meter. So how much it will be costing? 1 meter plus 1 meter, it will be 2 meter. 40 paise plus 40 paise, it will be 80 paise. Okay, 2 meter is fit here. Now if you say, if you get 1 more meter of this, you will require what? You will require 40 120 paise, which is 1 rupees 20 paise. So you will have to just see how many meters do I require. how many meters do I require. Okay, because if I know how many meters do I require to fit into this, I'll come to know, because 40 paise per meter, so I'll come to know like exactly what cost will be required to fit this carpet into this, right? So that's what I need to know it here. So let's start. I need to find out what is the area of this first. So area of this will be nothing but 17 into 9, the area of this white part. In this white part, I'll have to fit this 1 meter in of carpet into this part. Okay, such that I fill this entire white part. Okay, such that I fill this entire white part. So this is the total area that I have to fill with this 1 meter carpet. What do I know about this? The width of the carpet is this. So I'll say what now? What is the total length that I'll say? So L length into what? Width is 60 centimeter, right? So what will I do it here is I'll multiply this by 0.6. Okay, you will say why? Because 100 centimeter is equals to 1 meter, correct? And I have here 60 centimeter, so that will be equal to what? So 60 centimeter, so 1 centimeter is equals to 1 by 100 meter, right? You can get it from here, multiplying both side by 60. So 60 centimeter is equals to 60 upon 100, which is nothing but 0.6 meter. Okay, so because this will be in meter, so I need to get this in meter, obviously, so that I can compare and get the right value. So what do I know from this? I'll know the exact length, how much of length will be required, because I need to cover this much of area, and this is the width of each of this. So total how much of length will be required? To fit this carpet. Total how much of length will be required? That's what I wanted to find it out, right? Because this length will have to fit this entire white area. This entire white area needs to be fit into this length. So I'll come to know L is equals to what now? 17 into 9 upon 0.6. I'll write this as 6, and this 10 will go up. Okay, so that my calculation becomes easier in this case. So let's just solve this now. This is 2 3s are 6, 2 5s are 10, 3 1s are 3, 3s are 9. So 17 into 3 is 51 into 5, which is nothing but 255, right? So L comes out to be 255. So I'll require 255 meter, which means I'll require such small blocks, 255 such small blocks, where each block is of the length 1 meter. So I'll require such 255 small blocks. We started with 1, right? If you fit in 1, what is the cost? 40 paise. If you fit in 2, it was 80 paise. Such 255 you will have to fit in, because 255 meter is the length that will be required. Now the cost is 40 paise per meter. So you will multiply this by what? You will multiply this by, say, 40 paise, which means how many rupees? Which will be equal to what? This 40 paise. So I'll write it here, say into, say, 40. I'll do this. Yes, you can find the answer then in paise only, in case they ask you the answer in paise, so that eventually you will convert this to your rupees. So just multiply this. 255 into 4, 5 into 4 is 20, 4 is again 20, 22, 4 into 2 is 8, 9, 10, 10, 200. This is this many paise. Divide this entire thing by 100, because 100 paise means equal to 1 rupee. So you get the answer as rupees 102. Okay, if the cost is 40 paise per meter, you will require 102 rupees to put this many blocks into this. Okay, and that's how simple it is to solve this. Okay, I hope you got the concept. Let me just see if we did it correct. 5 into 4 is 20. Yes, this is correct. Yeah, correct. 1020, and 0 divided by 100, 102 rupees will be required for this thing. Okay, so that's how simple it is. Just understand what is given here and what you're supposed to find it out. Eventually you will get the logic for the problem. Now let's solve few more problems with different scenarios on rectangle. So what is given here? A room is 16 meter long, 7 meter broad and 8 meter high. Okay, and this is what is given to us. Find the cost of whitewashing the 4 walls of the room at rupees 7.5 per meter square Whitewashing is not to be done on the doors and windows which occupy 65 meters square of area. Okay, so you will see that this is a problem of 3D figure. No, you will have to use the concept of simple rectangles here only, and that's why this is a problem of 2D figures. You have to just visualize the cuboid, but you don't have to use any property of a cuboid here. You will have to use the property of rectangles and solve this. Okay, so let's understand what is a room. Room is nothing but a cuboid, something like this. This would be your room, right? This would be your room now. What is given here? The height is given as 8, so this height is given as 8. Then it is length is 16 and then 7, so this is given as 16 and this is given as 7, right? This is what they had given about the room. Now what am I supposed to do here? 4 walls of the room. So I'm not talking about this ceiling at the top, okay, and the floor at the bottom. I'm not talking about this. So this is what not I'm considering. I'm just considering the 4 walls, okay. And if you have to just visualize the 4 walls, see, this is how it will look like. This is your cube. Imagine this to be a cuboid in a room. So ignore the top and the bottom part. The floor, the ceiling and the floor is something that is being ignored. You just have to see the 4 walls. This is wall number 1, wall number 2, wall number 3, and then the wall number 4. Okay, these are the only 4 walls which has windows, doors. I have to ignore them and whitewash the rest of the area of the 4 walls. I have to whitewash the rest of the area of the 4 walls, and then the question that they are asking is what is the cost that will be required. If I give you what is the cost that is required to whitewash per meter square of area. Okay, so let's come to this. 4 walls is the only thing that we are looking here right now. We are ignoring this and this. So you will say first what? Let's talk about this wall. Let's talk about, I marked this in green. Okay, let's talk about this wall first. There will be one more wall like this which will be here, correct? Let's talk about this wall. So if I have to find out the area of this is a rectangle, right? This is a rectangle here now in green. Rectangle here now in green. What will be the area of this? 16 into 8, right? Because 8 is the width of this. So you'll say 16 into 8 is the area of this wall. Now multiply this by 2 because there are 2 such walls. So 2 into 16 into 8 will be the area of this 2 green walls which are being covered here. Now also I'll have to whitewash 4 walls, right? So 2 walls are done till now, 2 walls which are green here, and 2 more walls which will be this. So we are ignoring the ceiling, but this will be considered, right? The back wall and then the front wall which will be this, right? What will be the area of this? That will be nothing but 7 into 8. That will be nothing but 56. 7 into 8 will be the area of this, and there are 2 such walls. So 2 into 7 into 8, 2 into 7 into 8, since there are 2 such walls here. This will be the total area of the 4 walls. Total area of the 4 walls will be this 2 walls plus this 2 walls. That will be the total area. So let's just calculate this. What does this comes out to be? If I take out 2 into 8 as common outside, that is 16 is I have take out common outside. What will be remaining here is 16 plus 7. That is what you will be left with. Okay, so now if you have to solve this, what will this be? 16, 20, 23. 23 into 16 will be your answer to this, right? Am I correct? Yes, 23 into 16. So let's just multiply 23 into 16 to reach to the answer. 16 into 3, 18, 12, 13 into 3 into 2 is 2, 8, 3, 3, 6, 368. 368 meters square will be the area of this 4 wall. But this 4 wall has what? This has doors as well. So there are door on this, as well as there are windows on this. The total area of the door and the windows on this is what? Is 65 meters square. So you will not be whitewashing that, right? So you will have to take out that. So it is 368, and you take out 65 from this. What are you left with? This is 303 meters square. Now this is the area that you will have to whitewash. This is the area that you will have to whitewash. Okay, and what is the cost? The cost of whitewashing the 4 walls at 7.5 meters square. So 7.5 is what now? 7.5 is the cost per meter square. Per meter square, if I have to whitewash this, so I am whitewashing 303 meter square of area. The cost of per meter is 7.5. So the total cost of to whitewash the 4 walls of the room will be this, right? 303 into 7.5. Now that's it. Just multiply this and you will reach to your answer. So just multiply, that will be your final answer. So 5 into 3, 15. This 1, 15. 3 is 21. This is 2 years. It's 21. So 5, 2, 7. This is 2, and this is again 2. So this is the answer coming out to be what? 22725. okay, but you will put a decimal point here since this is 7.5, so you will put a decimal point here, 2272.5, and that will be your final answer. 2272.5 will be the cost that will be required to whitewash the 4 walls of the room, such that the cost of whitewashing per meter square will be 7.5 rupees. 7.5, since the total area that you will have to whitewash is nothing but 303 meters square. Again, that's how simple this problem is. So it was not a problem on 3D figure, it was a problem on 2D figure. It was just that it requires a little bit of visualization here to reach to the answer. So let's solve few more problems on rectangles and understand as to what are the different kinds of problem that you can get from this 2D figure. So the ratio between the sides of the room is 5:3. okay, the cost of whitewashing the ceiling of the room at 50 paise per square meter is 270. So this will give me the area of the ceiling, right? If I know the cost of per square meter and the total amount that is being required to paint this or whitewash this thing, so I'll come to know what is the area of the ceiling. And the cost of papering the walls, so now I'm not talking about the ceiling, I'm talking about the walls here. The cost of papering the walls at 10 paise per square meter is rupees 48. So this will give me the area of the walls. What is the height of the room? So first let us understand what are the walls and what is the ceiling. So I'll just put a ceiling here. See, this is a room. I can draw a door here. This is a room. This is a door. Now obviously there is no such door. There are only 4 walls and there is a ceiling here. But this is just for your visualization as to how will the room look like. And this will be your ceiling. This will be your ceiling, right? And this will be your floor. This will be a floor, this will be a ceiling, and what will be your 4 walls here then? What will be your 4 walls here? Something that we put it in green. So this is wall 1, okay, this is wall 2, okay, now this will be wall 3, and the back one, the wall 4, okay, this will be the 4 walls of the room. Okay, I hope you are able to visualize this as a room now. So let's see what is given to me now. The ratio between the sides of the room is 5:3, which means they are giving me the side. So this is given to me, length and then the breadth of the room, this is given to me. The ratio is 5:3, so I can call this to be as 5x and 3x, because I don't know, it could be 10 and then 6, it could be 15 and then 9, it could be anything, right? From the ratio I don't know what is the value, so I know this. This will obviously be your height, so let this call to be as height h. This is what we are supposed to know, what is the height of the room. Now what all do we know? Okay, so you may think that this is a problem on a 3D figure because we are solving a cuboid, but this is a simple problem on rectangles. That's a disguise here. You have to just use the property of the rectangle that you know and you will reach to your answer. So let's start with the first thing. The cost of whitewashing the ceiling of the room at 50 paise per square meter is 270. So if I say that the area here is equals to say A. Okay, the area here is equals to say A. Area of what? The ceiling. Area of the ceiling, which means this. The area of the ceiling is this. Then you will say what? Multiply this area into 50 paise. 50 paise, which means how much of rupees? 0.5. Multiply this by 0.5 and you will get the total cost of whitewashing the ceiling, which is 270. Right, which means this is the area, and per square meter of area I require 0.5 rupees. So total rupees that will be required is 270. So what is the area? So what is the area? Area is equals to what? 270 upon 0.5. 0.5 is nothing but 1 by 2. So into 2. Right. So this becomes what? 27 into 2 is 54. 540 square meter. Okay, that square meter will be the area. 540 meter square, sorry, because this area, so 540 meter square, not required to put the convention here. It's okay if you just write the answer as 540. That will be the area of the ceiling. So this ceiling is having an area of 540. I know that thing now clearly. But what do I know? If this ceiling has an area of 540, this floor will also have an area of 540. Why? Because this area and this area will be same. They both have the same dimensions. This is the length, this is the length, and this is the breadth, and this is the breadth. So they both are what? They both are rectangle. If they both are rectangle, which means this is upper rectangle and the lower rectangle, the ceiling and the floor will have the same area. Okay, and what is the area? Since it's a rectangle, area is nothing but length into breadth. So I can write this as 5x into 3x, length into breadth. 5x into 3x is equals to what? 540, because this area is equals to what? 540, and this is nothing but a rectangle, and rectangle has an area of length into breadth. So 5x into 3x, length into breadth is equals to what? Is equals to 540. Okay, now imagine this is a room and all this angle r90. Don't imagine any other figure, because this is just for your imagination. Obviously it will be a cuboid and it will be having a shape of a rectangle here. So how will this happen? 5 into 3, it will be 15. 15x square is equals to what? 540. So what will be the value of x? X square is equals to 540 upon 15. 15 3s are 45. 90, which means 15 6 are 90, 36. So x comes out to be what? 6. X comes out to be 6. So now I know what is the value of x. If I know the value of x, what do I know? 5 into 6, this will become 30. And 6 into 3, this becomes 18. So I know that length is 30 and breadth is 18. That is the first thing. Now I just need to find out what is the area from this, and my question will be solved. Now what else do I know here? The cost of papering the walls at 10 paise per square meter is rupees 48. Now I'm talking about what? I'm talking about walls. Okay, so let's just take out everything, because, and we know that this is what do we know now? This is 30 and this is 18. We know this. Now what am I talking about when I'm telling about the walls? I'm talking about this is say wall number 1. Okay, this along with this, whatever will be the area of this wall will be the same area of this wall. Correct? This 2 walls I'm talking about, and let us paint the other 2 walls by green. This one wall here and this one wall here, right? So these are the 4 walls. Now if I ask you this yellow one, if I don't go on to the green, if I just talk about this yellow one, what will be the area of this wall? This one, what will be the area of this? You will say this will be equal to 30 into h, because this is again a rectangle, right? Because this is again a rectangle, area of this yellow wall will be 30 into h, but 2 into 30 into h, because there are 2 such walls. I hope you are able to visualize this. Just this yellow wall, I want the area. So this is a rectangle has a length and then has a breadth. So this will be 30 into h, because since this is h, since these are 2 such wall yellow, so this will be what? 2 into 30 into h. That is the area of this 2 walls. So yellow that I had drawn it here, the yellow walls. Okay, now the green walls. Let's take this one and then this one. Okay, what is the area of this green wall? If you can see, this is again a rectangle which has a length and has a breadth. Okay, and this is 18. So one side is 18 and the other side is h, 18 into h. So what will be the area of this green? What will be the area of this green wall that I am drawing it here? This will be 18 into h, because length into breadth, right? So I'll write it as 18 into h. But since there are 2 such wall, one here and one here, 2 into 18 into h. That will be what? This will be what? Total area of the 4 walls. Total area of the 4 walls. Okay, and 4 walls are what? Nothing but rectangles, such that 2 rectangles are having this area and 2 rectangles are having this area. That will be the walls of the room. Okay, and what do I know? And the cost of papering the walls, which means this 4 walls I'm talking about, at 10 paise per square meter is this. So if I say B is the total area of this 4 walls, this multiplied by what? 0.1. You will say, where did 0.1 come from? This is 10 paise. 10 paise means how many rupees? 100 paise means 1 rupee, right? So 10 paise means 0.1 rupees. So whatever is the area, multiply that by 0.1, such that 0.1 rupees is the cost of papering per per meter square of area, and the total cost, that is nothing but 48. Okay, so B comes out to be what? 48 upon 0.1, that comes out to be 480. Okay, so that is my B, which is the area of the 4 walls. But this is equal to what then? This thing 480 will be equal to what? This will be equal to this, right? Because this is the area of the 4 walls. So I'll write this as what then? I'll write this the entire thing as this. Let me just put this here now. I'll write this entire thing as now. Let me just put it here now. Yeah. So B, this is also B, this is also B. So 480 is equals to what? 480 is equals to 2 into 30 into H plus 2 into 18 into H. Correct? Because this is the area of the 4 walls that I have it with me right now, and I need to find out H. So take H as a common from here. This comes out to be 480 upon 30 into 2, it will be 60, plus 18 into 2, it will be 36. Okay, and if you just write it here, this becomes 480 upon 60, 96. This is what? 48 ones are, these are 48 twos are 96. 10 divided by 2, the answer is 5, and that's what the height is. The height of the room is 5 what is given here? It will be meter, because the area is given 10 paise per square meter. Okay, so this will be meter. Okay, that's it. So you got the answer now. So that's how. So it looks like a problem on a 3D figure where you will have to use the concept of a cuboid. No, I just use the concept of 4 rectangles. You need to find out what is the area of the ceiling. Ceiling is nothing but a rectangle, floor is nothing but a rectangle. So area of the ceiling will be equal to area of the floor. That is what you have to understand it first. Okay, then the 4 walls are again 4 rectangles, such that 2 walls will be having same area and 2 walls will be having again the same area. Okay, and that's how you have to just manipulate and reach to your answer in such kind of problem. See few more problems on rectangle. So we start with this problem now. How many tiles of 20 centimeter by 40 centimeter, which means this is a rectangle of length and breadth 40 and 20, that by that you can find out the area of one tile here. So how many tiles of this much dimension will be required to pave the floor of a prayer hall, and the prayer hall is a room that is 16 meter long and 9 meter wide. Okay, so how will you start with this? This is your prayer hall, and this is how big it is, and I have tiles. So this is say one tile which is being fit here. What are the dimensions of this prayer hall? That is 16 meter and then 9 meter. So I can say that the width here is 9 meter and the length here is 16 meter. These are the dimensions of your prayer hall, and I have to fit in tiles, and each tile has a dimension of what? 20 centimeter and 40 centimeter. So if I have to put it here, it will be 0.4 meter to 0.2 meter, right? Because there is a convention which says that 100 centimeter is equals to 1 meter. Okay, so we know that. So 20 centimeter will be equal to 0.2 meter. Okay, that's quite understandable from this. So I know that one tile has an dimension of this, which means it will have an area that it will occupy is this much part. Right? So that is what the question is being asked. How many such tiles can I fit it here? Such that each of the tile has so much of dimension. Okay, that's how it will just go on. So how many such tiles I can fit it in this entire thing? How many such tiles can I fit it here? So include this now, include this, and then so on. So what will you say? The area of this is nothing but 16 into 9. The area of the prayer hall. Okay, that is nothing but 16 into 9. And area of each tile is nothing but 0.2 into 0.4. Right? If you have to just simplify this, say the area of the hall is 10. And the area of each tile is 2. So how many tile can you fit it here? 2 ones are 2 5s are 5 tiles you can fit it here. So that's what I'm doing it here. So the area of the hall is 16 into 9, and this is area of each tile is 0.2 into 0.4. So let's just multiply this. 16 into 9, we will keep it there as 144, and this is 4 into 2 will be nothing but 8, but I'll write it as 0.08. okay, so let's just keep it this divided by 0.08, the answer will be 1800. okay, so you can just simplify this in many way. If you want to see this, you can write this as 14400 divided by 8. okay, because I had taken the 2 decimal point to there, and eventually you will get an answer which is 1800, and that is your final answer. So 1800 such tiles you can fit it in this prayer hall, okay, which has a dimension of 16 and then 9, and each of the tile has an area which is 0.2 into 0.4. okay, that's how simple it is to reach to the solution of this. Let's move on to the next. A path of uniform width runs all across the inside of a rectangular field. Now can you recall, we had done this. Where is this? Inside of the rectangular field. Let's come here and let's check it here. This is the inside. So what eventually we get here is L plus B minus 2W into 2W, right? And for the outside we got it as L plus B plus 2W into 2W. But when you draw a path inside a rectangle, it is always L plus B minus 2W into 2W, okay, where W is nothing but the width. So let's see what is given here now. A path of uniform width runs inside a rectangular field of this much dimension. So for your just understanding, I'll draw this. No need to draw such things. We already know the formula. And there is a path which is going inside this. So let us draw a path that is being drawn inside this. So rectangle yellow was your original field, which had a dimension of what? 116 to 68. Oh sorry, let's put it here. Length and then breadth, so I'll put it this as 68. Again, I'm telling no need to do all this in the exam. This is just for your better visualization. I'm drawing all this. Just put it in the formula and reach to your answer. The width of the path is 720. This path which I had drawn it here, I'm painting it in red right now. This width is equal to 720. okay, find the width of the path, which means he's asking me this, the width of the path. okay, but we know what is the formula now. This is a path of uniform width, so we know the formula. This is L plus B minus 2W into 2W. okay, that is equal to what? This width, and this width of the path, that is equal to what? Sorry, the area. okay, we know that is always equal to the area of this path, and the area of the path is already given to me as 720. so this will be equal to 720. that is nothing but the area of this uniform width path, that is equal to 720. Now what else do I know? I know this is equals to L is equals to 116 and breadth is equals to 68. so let's just solve this and see as to what is the answer that we are getting it here. So if I come here, what is the answer that I am getting it here? So I'll put this L as 116 plus B as 68 minus of 2 into width, that is what I'm supposed to find out, into 2W, that whole thing is equals to 720. Now obviously there is only one variable in this. I can easily go ahead to find out this. So 116 plus 68, first you will have to do that is equals to 184. So this becomes 184 minus 2W into 2W. The whole thing is equals to 720. Now just multiply this. 184 into 2 is equals to 368. So this becomes what? 720 is equals to 368W minus 4W square. So this is becoming a quadratic equation. Let's just solve this quadratic equation and get the value of this. So let's put this 4W square, then what? Minus 368W plus 720 is equals to 0. So 720 is equals to 0. So I'm taking all of them here. Now I can see each one of them is a multiple of 4. So dividing the entire thing by 4, this becomes what? W square minus 4 9s are 36, 4 2s are 8, 92W. Dividing entire thing, this entire thing by 4. Okay, that's what I'm doing it here. So 92W plus what? 4 18s are 72 is equals to 0. So I need two numbers whose multiplication is 180 and addition is 92. It's very simple. 92s are 180, 90 plus 2 is 92. So write it at w square minus 90w minus 2w plus 180 is equals to 0. And obviously if you solve this, you will get w is equals to 90 or w is equals to 2. Okay, so these are the two values of w that you will get. Now how can the width be 90? The breadth itself is 68 and you are telling me the width will be 90. This is not possible. Okay, width will be something that is lesser than 68, so it cannot be 90. So this is gone. So width w is equals to 2 and that is your answer. Okay, so width of this path is equals to what now? That is equals to 2. Okay, 2 meter is what will be the width of this path. So just apply the formula. We know the formula. Don't go ahead to solve this. That's why we had memorized the formula. L plus B minus 2W into 2W if the path is drawn inside. L plus B plus 2W into 2W if the path is drawn outside. Okay, know this basic convention and it will be easier for you to reach solution to such problems. Let's solve this problem on rectangles now. This is again on room. We have seen many problems on room. Looks like a problem which is on 3D figures, but eventually it turns out to be a 2D figure problem. A room is half as long as it is wide. Okay, so half as long as it is wide, which means 3:2 will be the ratio of length is to breadth, because what is given, the room is half as long as it is wide. So whatever is the width, take half of that is equal to half of 2. If the width is 2, half of 2 is 1. Again add 1 to 2. Okay, half as long, it's not half as much. So if half as much, then it would have been 2:1, which is not the case here. This is half as long as the width. Okay, so you will say if the width is 2, half of 2 is 1, 2 plus 1, half as long, it will be 3. But I don't think it, so this is required here. Let's just write it here in case we need this. The cost of carpeting it at 62 paise per square meter is 2916. So I'm putting a carpet here. So this is my floor here. This is the floor that you can see. This is the floor that I'm drawing it here by X. The dimension of it will be something. What are the dimensions? I don't know. Okay, but I know the ratio is 3:2. All I know is its area. What will be its area is something that I'm supposed to know. So what will you say? Okay, if the cost of carpeting is 60, so if the area is A, okay, and the cost is 62 paise, which means what? If I just multiply this by 62 paise per square meter, and if the area is this, then the total cost is equal to 2916. Correct? Whatever is the area per meter square of area, the cost is 62 paise, such that the total cost turns out to be 2916. Since it is 62 paise, I'll multiply this by 0.62 because this is rupees. Correct? Such that 0.62, which means 0.62 rupees per meter square. So this much of area into this is the total cost that is being required. So I'll get A, that is equal to what? I'll get an area. A is equals to 2916 divided by 0.62. Okay, let's just keep it like this. Whatever is the value that we can get it from here. Then what? Find the cost of whitewashing the ceiling at 30 paise per meter. Now ceiling, where is the ceiling here? This is the floor and this is the ceiling of the room. This will be the ceiling. What can you say about the ceiling? The area of the floor and the area of the ceiling will be same, because it will be having the same length and the breadth. Right, whatever it is, I don't know what is that, but it will be having the same length and the breadth. So area of the floor and the area of the ceiling will be same. Okay, we had done such kind of problem. So area of this will also be equal to what? The same, A. So what will you say now? 30 paise per meter square. So whatever is the area, multiply this by 0.30, and that is the cost that will be required here. Okay, but I know what is A. A is nothing but 2916 divided by 0.62, and that is into 0.30. Okay, I need to get the value of this. So just approximate. See, that is the logic here. This is 1s are approximately 2s are. If this is 2, it means I need a half of this, and half of this is only one option here, option number C. Okay, if you need 2916 divided by 2, I'll need a half of that, and there is only one option which is 1411, that is close to this, and that will be my answer here, because the approximate value is something that I'll have to reach to by this question. Now if you are wondering how can you just solve by looking at this, see, no need to go for all these things. I did all this because I wanted you to visualize, but you can just solve by looking at it. 2916 is the cost if 62 paise is the per square meter. Now paise is being half. Okay, it means what? The cost is being half. Whatever was the cost earlier, the cost is being half, right? So if the cost per meter square, and the area is same here, the area what was there is the same area here. If the cost is half, so total cost will also become half, na? If per meter square the cost is being half, the total cost should also become half. So answer will be half of this, which is 1411. No need to do all this at all. You can just look at the problem and solve it visually to reach to your answer. Okay, so that's how simple it is to reach to the solution of this problem. So again, learn from this. Not necessarily if it's a cuboid or it's a room that it will be a problem on 3D. Okay, it could be a basic solving the surface area of a cuboid and a problem on rectangle. If you are thinking what is the surface area, we'll see it in a 3D, but that's what it is. It's a basic problem on rectangles while it looks like a problem on a 3D.